Hello viewers, welcome to another news hour on Jamano Media and Products. We now begin with our headlines. President Adama Barrow delays new cabinet. His Excellency Adama Barrow ought to include persons with disabilities in new cabinet. Police investigate car crash that killed 2 Gambian journalists. Chambers tell IEC to conduct credible parliamentary elections. Those were the headlines. We now have the news in detail. President Adama Barrow has announced a rather usual step in the formation of his new government expected after his swearing in on Wednesday. After making it clear that most of his ministers would come from his NPP-led Grand Coalition, the nation, and indeed serving and hoping to be ministers, were eagerly waiting for the president to reveal his lineup. But in a third statement yesterday, the president said he is instead going in for a swearing in and a caretaker cabinet next week, retaining or reserving ministers in their portfolios until further notice. He gave no further details. The Standard contacted various politicians and lawyers about the legitimacy of the president's strange announcements. A lawyer who demanded anonymity said the president did not break any law. He has powers to appoint anyone to keep his cabinet intact as long as he swears them in. But once they take office as ministers again, there is nothing like caretakership. That come full-pledged ministers, and whatever changes the president will do again could only be a cabinet reshuffle or resolution. He don't think it is fair to keep his ministers in suspense about their role in his caretaker arrangement. According to a politician who also begged for anonymity, the president still played a political game instead of hurriedly getting into business to run the country with a fresh, competent cabinet. The president is delaying the country and going back to play politics. The whole idea is a plan to keep political entrepreneurs in his Grand Coalition to work for him to control the assembly in April before dishing out jobs to them. However, shortly after the initial announcement, State House amended it with the following rejoinder. The Office of the President wishes to clarify that His Excellency President Adama Barrow has retained his immediate past cabinet on a transition basis pending the formation of a new cabinet in due course. Please be informed that the use of the phrase caretaker cabinet is not consistent with the Constitution of the Gambia, hence this rejoinder. Consequently, in line with the Constitution Section 71(1) and Caption 3, members of the Cabinet will be sworn in on Thursday, 27th January 2022 at the State House in Banjul. Lamin Mane, a senior official of the Gambia Federation of the Disabled, has urged President Adama Barrow to consider appointing persons with disabilities in his new cabinet, urging that everyone has right to serve the country. Speaking to the Standard yesterday, Mr. Lamin said the president should use his new term to give greater attention to persons with disabilities by empowering them with influential positions and encouraging private and public sectors to employ them. He would love the president to consider providing support to the disabled community through scholarships and to absorb them into labor force in all sectors, particularly in government institutions, he said. Mr. Mane said the president must appoint a cabinet of people who have integrity and competence and open to diverse views. He further urged the president to tackle the rising cost of living. Police spokesperson Superintendent Lamin Jai has confirmed to the Standard that police are investigating a car crash that left 2 senior journalists and a senior health official dead Sunday night. Journalists Pamodu Fall and Musandao, both working as communication officers at the Ministry of Health at the time, died in the car crash near Soma in the LRR. Kausubayo, an official of the Minister of Health, also died in the accident, while the driver Usman Sanye and communications officer Salifu Ture are responding to treatment at the hospital. According to the police, the driver was arrested and set on bail to allow him to heal the injuries he sustained. Injuries are still ongoing and the driver Usman is yet to be charged, PR Onjai stated. Former special representation of the Secretary General and head of the United Nations Office for West Africa and Sahel, UNEWAS, has urged the Independent Electoral Commission to ensure credible and transparent parliamentary elections. Briefing a group of eminent persons consisting of religious leaders and civil society, Muhammad Ibn Chambers said the IEC and the Inter-Party Committee should ensure there is level playing field for all candidates who want to contest the April parliamentary elections. The IEC and the IPC should work in the spirit of ensuring that fair play will prevail so that all those who would wish to be candidates for the National Assembly elections will have the opportunity to do that. The conditions should be there to ensure that there is a level playing field for the candidates, he said. Chambers said IDEA has undertaken the responsibility to be available to play a role along with the IPC and civil society to ensure a continued effort to ensure parliamentary campaign and elections are conducted in a peaceful manner in the spirit of national unity. The CSOs and the media should ensure all the candidates focus on what is their intent and plans for their consequences and how to impact lives in their consequences and avoid utterances that will divide this country. We want to see a united Gambia, Chambers said. The former UN envoy, who was just from meeting political party representatives, added, "At the end of the day, we always want the Gambia to be the winner and continue to be the smiling coast of Africa and the rest of the world. Now that President Adama Barrow has taken his oath, things should move on, and he want to call on the civil society to play their role." Chambers said IDEA will remain a friend and partner of the Gambia, especially the civil society. Turning to the continent, Chambers said Africa should pay attention to preventing coup d'etats by ensuring that elections are credible and transparent, and say all the factors where they are to ensure peaceful and credible processes and procedures where they are to ensure everybody participated in their free will to secrecy. Those were the stories for our today's newscast, but before we take our leave, let's take a recap on our top stories. President Adama Barrow delays new cabinet. His Excellency Adama Barrow ought to include persons with disabilities in new cabinet. Police investigate car crash that killed 2 Gambian journalists. Chambers tells IEC to conduct credible parliamentary elections. Those were the stories. Thank you for joining us. I am your presenter, Maria Magillan. Do have a nice day.